Okay, Past Lives. I've heard really good things that this is potentially one of the best films of the year, and it's a debut feature from Celine Song as well. A24, of course. A24 are paying all of their work as well, supporting A24 through the strikes too. They've agreed to SAG-AFTRA's conditions.
Who do you think they are to each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Oh, someone's people watching.
Girl or a couple. And the Asian guy is her brother.
That's fun.
Or the Asian girl and the Asian guy are a couple.
And there is some complex relationship, complex dynamic. Now, I was going into this nearly completely blind until literally earlier this morning. I was listening to a podcast and the podcast had an ad. So I know it's like two people that were separated in a way. It makes sense. Past lives. They had past lives together and are reconnecting.
I have no idea.
Ooh, bit of fourth wall break. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon for a full-length version of this as well, where you can watch along with me. So this is them two when they're younger, I'm assuming?
난 맨날 너 때문에 이정한다. 나 안 울잖아. 처음 날 이겼는데 네가 울면 내 기분이 어떻겠냐?
Yeah, so is it like childhood puppy love that got reconnected much later? And it's kind of what could have been as well, if they're only reconnected 24 years later.
어떻게 하기로 했어?
내가 미셸, 시영이 메리.
시영이가 미셸하고 싶다 그랬잖아.
Okay, yeah, giving themselves Western names. Mary and Michelle.
줄여서 노라.
노라?
Nora's nice. Nora Moon. So is this them going off to America then?
그냥 데이트할래?
Getting excited over a crush. But the parents have to watch over.
저희가 곧 이민을 가거든요. 그래서 가기 전에 좋은 기억 만들어주고 싶어서요.
And that just means you're ripping it all away from her as well, though. That's how she'll interpret it.
근데 왜 가세요? 나영이 아빠는 영화 감독 하시고.
Oh, a film director. I guess there's more opportunity in LA as a film director, if that's where they move. Does Nayoung know that she's immigrating? Because, like, obviously she picked out her Western name, Nora Moon, but does she think she's just picking that for no reason, or does she know?
너 진짜 가는 거야?
Okay, she does already know. I was thinking there might be some dramatic scene where she finds out. yeah, already told the awkwardness. It's the, you know, someone's leaving and don't want to get too close as well, maybe. And it's such a hard emotion to process when they're this young. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I mean, filmmaking wise, them splitting off like that, how it divides them, the blocking.
My name is Michelle. How are you, Michelle? I'm fine, and you? I'm fine, and you? I'm fine, and you?
Caught in a loop.
International Airport. Yes.
Oh, it's Canada they're moving, actually. Still filmmakers, if they're in Toronto, Tiff is there. Yeah. I'm imagining this is also drawn a lot from Celine Song's personal experience, maybe feeling like an outsider. I don't, you know, I'm going almost blind. I know she's the director and she is Asian herself. So I am imagining this, you know, she moved to America at some point and this is all being drawn from that experience. And yeah, in South Korea, there's like a mandatory military service, isn't there? Okay, so now she's moving to New York.
걔 이름이 뭐더라? 응? 내가 무지 좋아하는 애. 걔랑 데이트했잖아.
She can't even remember his name.
아빠 영화 페이스북에 나를 찾는다고 포스트했어. 잠깐만 다시 전화할게.
Yeah, there's like a little smirk there. She's happy that he's looking for her. Obviously, you got to see how well he's aged and things. But there's another 12 years between what we're seeing here and modern day, isn't there? It was 12 years ahead, but it was 24 years back. So there's still a lot of things to happen in between what we saw in that opening scene.
아니 잘 됐어. 잘 됐어?
헤어져서 다행이다 생각하고.
Yeah, that sounds like they're consoling him after a breakup.
우리 몰래 여자 생겼냐? 아니 새벽 3시에 여자 아니면 누가 연락을 해?
Oh, no, that's just the time difference, isn't it?
전혀 모르겠.
He can barely read the message, can he? He's so drunk.
뭐가 그렇게 기분이 좋아?
Oh, I can tell. Just from that message. Boosted his mood a bit. I'm surprised they're both, so excited after all of that time where they're both in other countries and there's no chance of meeting or anything. I mean, would either of them really move at this point? That was funny, just adjusting it and then taking it off.
난 그냥 나영이라고 불러도 돼?
당근. 근데 이제 우리 엄마도 나영이라고 안 불러.
I can kind of see how Na Young becomes Nora. There's like a little bit of similarity there.
여보세요?
여보세요.
Yeah, Skype back in the day.
너 나한테 져서 울었잖아.
딱 한 번 졌지.
He'll never let her live it down.
좋다.
뭐가?
그냥 너랑 얘기한 거?
That's cool, the mirroring of the two cities. One night and day as well, because of the time zones.
밤 12시?
너 아직도 안 먹었어? 당장 가서 먹어.
Looking after each other though, telling her to go eat. Yeah, there's this awkward tension between them as well.
안녕.
안녕. Yeah. You can tell she probably also thinks it's slightly stupid as well because they're so far apart.
여기 아침 7시인가? 절대 아침 10시 전에 안 일어난다더니.
Oh, getting up early just for him.
한국말이 좀 녹슬었는데?
I was wondering if you'd ever say that. Yeah, she hasn't had to use it as much. I saw she had some notes when she was typing out one of the messages. Was that also part of it?
성질도 나쁘고.
그러게. 아니야, 농담이야.
I'm definitely invested in the connection already, believing the romance. The bit of banter, the playful flirting.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. 그거 봤어?
And he's watching it just for her.
나 들려?
Okay, bit of distance growing between them again or something?
나중에 같이 오면 되지.
They really are spending so much time together, aren't they? But connection problems. I'm surprised it was so good on the old Skype, on the older internet as well.
내가 왜 서울을 가?
넌 공부 잘하잖아.
것 같기도 하고.
Their suspicions about his secret girlfriend must definitely be growing now.
안녕.
안녕.
Is she alright? She looks like she was scared or even crying there.
난 우리 잠깐 연락을 끊었으면 좋겠어.
Yeah, you don't want to grow too close when you can't actually, materialize it.
난 여기서 뭔가를 해내고 싶어.
Is he too much of a distraction?
인생에 충실하고 싶은데.
I know the feeling. My best friend lives in Ecuador and it's just way too much money for either of us to afford to visit, at least for now.
좋은 생각인 것 같아. 진짜 내가 왜 이러지?
I mean, it is right. It is the best thing for both of them to do. Yeah, it's like you're in New York, you've got the whole world on your fingertips, don't you? You gotta focus on your life here rather than digitally. There's some beautiful shots. Visiting mum and dad, I assume. I do wonder what Michelle's up to too, but I just thought she just said she only ever speaks Korean with her mum. So is the dad still around? Although there was the whole thing about the dad's movie on Facebook and that's how they connected. Oh, it does look lovely here though. And then he's seeing others in relationships, yeah. Who was that? Why was the focus on that guy there?
야, 그래서 언제 가는데?
이번 주 일요일.
거기 여름 내내 있겠네?
Oh, is that to China or is that to New York? He's not going to surprise her there, is he?
인연 or fate. I think it comes from Buddhism.
Okay, yeah.
It's an 인연. If two strangers even walk by each other in the street,
Oh, so that was one right there.
it means there must have been something between them in their past lives.
Oh, there we go, past lives. I have a feeling that exact same speech is going to come back up again right at like the climax of the film when you're going to be in tears. It seems like they're both getting into their separate relationships while they're away from each other.
That's just something Koreans say to seduce someone.
Oh. The little nod. Okay, have they been together for 12 years then? Wow.
Are you two related?
We're married.
Married already? Okay. Is that really going to complicate things if he comes over? When was the last time they had a video call as well? I imagine ages ago again.
I crossed the Pacific Ocean to be here. Some crossings cost more than others.
Auditions. And if that's like a self-insert character for her, that would be weird.
먹고 싶어요. I don't know.
Oh, so he's learnt Korean for her? Or does he just know a few phrases?
Why is he coming here again?
I think vacation.
Is he still in a relationship or is he single again?
휴가. 쉬고 즐기고 놀고.
Reconnect with some people?
아니지?
누구?
뭘 모르는 척해 임마. 요즘 여자친구랑 헤어져서 걔 만나러 가는 거 아니야?
야, 내가 미쳐.
Okay, there you go.
에휴, 불쌍한 놈. 너 가 있는 내내 비 온대.
I feel like New York would still be fun with bad weather though. Yeah, what is his English like too actually? Because there's that bit right at the start where, they're chatting and then Arthur was to the side not really engaging with the conversation, but was that because he doesn't speak much English? Oh, that's great. The shadows of the rain dropping down looks like tears on him. The nervousness. I like this, the camera work. It makes it seem more voyeuristic. And like, what's his expectations here? I feel like deep down he probably hopes there'll be a big romance, she'll get a divorce and be with him. But he also knows that it's completely unrealistic. He's even wearing blue. Yeah, the color schemes kind of match, and even the background, the stone.
뭐라고 말해야지?
Hello, it's been so long.
와.
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 So she's just going to be his tour guide for the week. I always love doing that, being tour guides for people, getting to show them all the best places. Yeah, I was just going to say their hands are very close. They're not saying much, but they're saying so much with their eyes, aren't they?
남편이랑 한국에 갔었잖아.
알아.
Oh, and she didn't reach out. Okay, she did reach out, but they didn't connect back then.
보고 싶었는데. 둘이 잘 지내?
지금 잠깐 안 맞는 중이야.
On a break.
사랑하는데 왜 몰라?
좀 복잡하거든.
There's someone he loves even more. But, you know, at this point, they haven't talked in so long. It's probably the idea of her he likes more.
외동아들한테 시집 오려면 내가 좀 더 돈도 잘 벌고 잘나야 하는데 난 너무 평범하거든.
Oh, okay. A bit of tradition in Korea as well around that.
걔는 좀 더 잘난 사람이랑 만나야 돼서.
Or he doesn't think he's good enough for her. Go on, crack a smile then.
술을 쳐?
그럼
할 줄 알아?
잘해.
한국말도 잘해?
아니? 장가 가기 힘들어요.
야, 네가 걱정해주기엔 나이 얼마 안 먹었거든?
How old are they here? Like 30s now? Mid-30s?
너는 나를 왜 찾았어?
12년 전에?
응.
그게 그렇게 궁금해?
I think she already knows.
한 번 더 보고 싶었어. 왠지 네가 날 두고 그냥
He never quite got closure.
좀 열받았던 것 같아.
미안.
뭐가 미안해?
I mean, she didn't really have a choice in it, did she? It was the parents.
우리 그때 진짜 애기들이었잖아.
그리고 12년 전에 다시 만났을 때도 그때도 애기들이었지.
이제는 애기가 아니지.
Is that her saying, stop dwelling on the past? Yeah, what does he think about it? And like, how well does Arthur know about what their relationship was like before? Does he just think it was a friend from Korea, or is he feeling a bit jealous?
You were right.
I was?
He came here to see me.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy to see him be this grown-up man. He's so Korean. He still lives with his parents.
Yeah, especially being like, you'd expect him to live with his girlfriend at that point.
I mean, I have Korean friends, but he's not like Korean American. He's Korean.
Yeah, that makes sense. So she feels more American.
He's really masculine in this way that I think is so Korean.
Are you attracted to him?
Yeah, Arthur's getting jealous.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so.
There's still not a good way to answer it. I mean, I feel like no matter what the answer is, she says no and he thinks she's lying.
When is he leaving again?
Morning after tomorrow.
Oh, he's not here for long then. I mean, we know they all meet up eventually. There's going to be the scene of them drinking together.
Are you mad?
No.
Feels like you are.
It's probably just confusing and a lot for him.
And it's not like you're gonna run away with him. Are you? I was just thinking about what a good story this is.
The story of Hae Sung and me?
Yeah.
It'd make a great movie.
We're not meant for each other.
I know. In the story, I would be the evil white American husband standing in the way of destiny.
It's very, very meta, isn't it?
Shut up.
Think about it. Our story is just so boring. Get married so you could get a green card.
Yeah, it sounds so cold the way you're saying it.
I'm the guy you leave in the story when your ex-lover comes to take you away.
So the movie is aware of the tropes. Is it going to try and break the trope and they stay together, or it's double bluff?
This is my life, and I'm living it with you.
Are you happy with it?
Oh, he's getting so insecure.
Tiny apartment in the East Village with some Jewish guy who writes books. Is that what your parents wanted for you?
Is he trying to convince her to break up with him? He's doing a great job of selling himself in this moment.
It's just that you make my life so much bigger. And I'm wondering if I do the same thing for you.
Okay, he's recovered it a bit. That was a great line.
You're forgetting the part where I love you.
I don't forget that. I have trouble believing it sometimes.
Is that his own self-doubt, or does she not show it as much?
You never sleep talking English. You only dream in Korean. You dream in a language that I can't understand.
She dreams in Korean. She dreams of something else, you know?
Place inside of you where I can't go.
Yeah, he's worried. She's dreaming of other places, being elsewhere, and he can't quite understand her.
Even though I know it's annoying for you.
You want to understand me when I'm dreaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You want to have that connection. You want to fully understand your partner, and he can't quite. There's like a little barrier there, and he's obviously insecure at this point with everything going on.
자, 이거 먹어.
내 거야?
Is it a taste of home, something he's brought along with him?
어제 물어보고 싶었는데 너는 요즘 무슨 상 타고 싶어?
Oh yeah, Noble to Pulitzer to, what's it now?
토니상.
너는 정말 기억 그대로야.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what it was for plays and things. Oh, look at that. They kept that distance between them, but there's the other couples around them who are much closer. There we go. He's cracking a smile in these photos.
너 어려 보인다.
그린 카드 때문에 좀 예정부터 일찍했지.
Oh, okay, yeah.
나 가는 거 알아?
그럼.
Yeah, you don't want to just spring that on him. Oh, that bit of awkwardness.
안녕하세요. 만나서 반가워요.
But you can play it off as he's trying to think of the Korean words.
한국말 잘하시네.
알았네.
Yeah, there's that language barrier between them as well, so that makes it more difficult to...
What did you two do today?
The Statue of Liberty.
I've never actually been there.
야, 남편도 한번 데리고 가야지.
Yeah, it is slightly different when you live somewhere. You don't do the touristy things. There's a castle right by where I live. I've never actually been up the castle. I just, you know, not worth the money.
아, 군대.
Yes.
Oh, military service.
Okay, we're finally getting this conversation.
밥 먹게. 빡세네.
Yeah, she's forgetting to translate. Oh, yeah, it's just those little looks. And then Arthur's out of the picture here.
네 남편이 좋은 게 이렇게 아플 줄 몰랐어.
Yeah. He sees that he's a good guy, not just this fictional villain that he had in his head.
보고 싶었어?
당근,
신랑을 만났잖아.
너도 여자친구 생겼잖아.
Yeah, she's quick to reminding me he had a girlfriend.
여기도 오고 그러니까 좀 이상한 생각이 많아지네. 12년 전에 그때 내가 만약에 뉴욕에 왔었다면 어땠을까?
And he does know a little bit of Korean. I wonder how much of this he's actually picking up.
내가 널 찾았을까? 우리가 사귀었을까? 헤어졌을까?
It's crazy to have this conversation right in front of him, though. Obviously, I know there's a language barrier, but still.
그리고 넌 누구냐면 떠나는 사람인 거야.
너가 기억하는 나영이는 여기에 존재하지 않아.
Yeah. She's grown and changed.
너 앞에 앉아있지는 않지만 그렇다고 없는 거는 아니야. 난 그 애를 너와 함께 두고 온 거야.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. She left her behind in Korea.
그리고 그때 내가 겨우 12살이었지만 그 애를 사랑했었어.
또라이네.
Is the Indian gonna come back up again?
내 생각에는 우리 전생에 뭔가 있었어. 근데 우린 이번 생에는
Oh, yeah.
서로에게 그런 사람이 될 인연은 아닌 거야.
So it's in their next lives, maybe there would be something.
여기 네 남편이랑 함께 있는 거야.
Don't forget he's sitting right there.
그리고 아사에게 너는 곁에 남는 사람인 거야.
It must be so hard for Arthur to just sit there. Is that the couple there to the left that were talking at the start?
I'm sorry, we speak alone. We will stop.
Yeah, try and include him in the conversation too.
We haven't seen each other in a long time. I never thought I'd be a part of something like this.
A little love triangle.
You and me.
Yeah, you and I are Indian too.
금방 오나?
2분.
That scene felt like a lifetime there. Like, what's happening? They were looking at each other. They're gonna hug, say goodbye. They're gonna kiss, complicate things. It's just that was been so awkward to film as well. I imagine. Oh, I imagine they were told to look at each other and keep it ambiguous.
이것도 전생이라면 우리의 다음 생에서는 벌써 서로에게 다른 인연인 게 아닐까?
Yeah, that's just what I was saying before. Yeah, it is just so much, isn't it? I don't even know how you like process those emotions from this, you know what I mean? So many layers to it. And you know what's crazy? It's the best and most beautiful films of the last 2 years have been directorial debuts from female directors. This and After Sun. You know, everyone's saying film of the year for this. I can definitely see it being up there. Obviously, the year isn't over yet. There could still be things that come out that are even better or that I personally enjoy more. But this is going to be top 3 easily. I was getting a lot of Lady Bird vibes from this as well, in terms of like the lighting and these slower moments where you have just the shots of the city, things like that. It's just this slow tenderness and sensitivity with the filmmaking, with the themes, and then the heart of it, this kind of awful triangle, this tragic love triangle. Is like every facet of the love triangle is kind of tragic in some way, you know. It's Na Young or Nora in the middle of it, caught between everything. It's Hae Sung's like infatuation and also like a bit of his imagination and wondering what could have been, and of course the Ilyun, the past lives, that aspect of it, and hoping in another life maybe they are together or they've had history in their past lives before. That conversation just at the bar was probably the best scene of the film. You know, what film like climaxes with just a simple conversation like that? But it was so good. And then you have Arthur, who obviously is concerned, he's a bit jealous, he's doubting himself, but he's also being really great about it as well, you know. He's being completely understanding and supportive of her, but also he's got his own feelings going into this as well. But it's like, you know, it's like he knows that there is something there deep down, he knows, but it's also, well, he can't have this control over his girlfriend, over his wife, and say, hey, no, you're not going to go visit someone who you've been friends with for 24 years, you know. Even though their friendship has been off and on, they've known each other for so long, he's not going to deny her of that, obviously. But he also knows deep down that, well, at first he probably suspected that he has feelings for her, and he was right about that, and she knows as well. Yeah, I liked how meta the film was with it as well, in terms of the scene with Arthur and Nora in the bed where he's like talking to her about it and he's saying it would make a great story, and the film is self-aware of the tropes, you know. You could imagine a film ending with them two getting together, and as he says, he'd be the evil boyfriend who's keeping them apart, but that's not reality. The film is a more realistic take than that kind of fantasy. It's how this would play out in the real world, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's all very real, and how, you know, the relationships aren't everything as well. It's about your life, making choices, what's best for your life. For her going off to America, and, you know, she's not just going to upend her life and move back to Korea with him, is she? She's established here. She's, you know, doing auditions. She was auditioning someone for a role in one of her plays. Arthur's there. Arthur's a writer. He's published a book. Hae Sung isn't as established, and that's maybe like why he went there. And of course, there's, you know, he's kind of split with his girlfriend, they're on a break or something, and there's like the prospect of marriage, but the kind of traditions around that are, you know, is not quite right there, I guess. I'm imagining it's something to do with like the traditions and the culture there. They couldn't get married because of the money, as he was saying, and that's what's stopping them from getting married. But I think it is also his own feelings too. He needed this break to be able to go here and confirm that there was nothing here. And of course there is like romantic tension there, but he knows deep down that it could never be fulfilled, really. And I love the concept of the Ilyun, this fate, this destiny, how in past lives people have interacted and that influences your current lives, and this is all potentially just it's a way of rationalizing that things don't work out in this life, but still gives a bit of hope that maybe in another life it will happen, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's just the harshness of the reality of life and things not quite reaching your expectations. You know, I think for a lot of it, Hae Sung, he has this like idea of her in his head, and probably has this idealized version, and it's quite common to kind of fall in love with like the idea of someone rather than the actual person, and he doesn't truly really know her. You know, they connected all of that time ago and then had that brief connection over Skype, and then it all fell away for another 12 years, and suddenly he's there in person. And as she was saying, you know, it's weird for her because he also is almost just an idea for her until they met in person. It was like this boy from ages ago, all of these memories that have probably faded, and there's just a few memories there, and then this digital connection that they had, and then suddenly he's there in person, and it's just different when he like materializes like that, you know what I mean? And it's just so good, like the subtlety of the acting with Greta Lee playing Nora is just like, you can read so much with just her facial expressions and her eyes. As I was saying at one point, they're both just standing there awkwardly, and you're just like, what's happening here? What are they thinking? You can just see it in their eyes. It was like I said at one point, they're not saying anything, but their eyes are saying so much. And then there's that like awkward silence while they're waiting for the Uber to come pick them up to say goodbye. You know, neither of them know what to do, whether to say goodbye, to hug. There's obviously the tension there, but what do you do about it? You know, nothing can come from it as well. So it's just difficult, and it must have been so awkward to film because there's like the ambiguity of like, oh, will they, won't they? And you're just standing there for 2 minutes. I don't know how long that scene was, if that was actually just 2 minutes of them standing there, but it felt like it felt like a lifetime, them just standing there. Will they, won't they? What's gonna happen? And I think, you know, there's no bad guy in this as well. That's what makes it even more heartbreaking. Arthur is just completely reasonable about the situation. Hae Sung is completely reasonable about the situation. It's all just so real, isn't it? And it's definitely relatable to a lot of people. You know, there's like the immigrant part of it, of course. Celine's song being like a self-insert for her and being a bit autobiographical. But I think a lot of people, you know, they have friends or relationships that are long distance. As I said, you know, I made a lot of friends at university who are international, and now they've gone back home and haven't seen some of them in years, but we still connect digitally just like they were halfway through the movie. And when you haven't seen someone for like so long, yeah, it almost becomes like this idea of them rather than you being able to experience them in person like that. And that's probably the same for them if they're watching my videos as well, you know what I mean? I just exist in the screen for them. It's hard kind of holding any relationship with that distance, even just friendships, especially when it's, you know, so expensive to go see each other too. So I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, comment your thoughts of the film. What did you think? And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.